Welcome to TYT Sports, everybody. 3 great stories for you today. Francis is out still on vacation, so we brought in
Slacker.
J.R. Jackson, the workhorse of TYT. You can see him on the main show. Make sure to check him out over there. But we're going to get right into it because amongst all the NBA free agency decisions, there's a decision that might be coming that will affect Russell Westbrook's career path. Now, the question we have for you is, what should Russell Westbrook do? Technically, it's out of Russell Westbrook's control because he put himself in the control of the ownership because he said, I am not signing an extension, which means the Thunder are going to likely trade him, which is not up to Westbrook. It's up to the Thunder.
But at least he's on the same time schedule he would have been if he just lets it play out. At least he knows after this next season he has the option. He's going to be unrestricted. He can do what he wants, at that point. At least.
Interesting that you point that out, though, is whoever trades for Westbrook has to be aware that there's no guarantee he re-signs long-term. So it's a risky move on both parts. Now, I feel terrible for Victor Oladipo. Victor Oladipo, if Russell Westbrook gets traded, and we're going to look into some trade options in just a second. If Russell Westbrook gets traded, Oladipo went from the Magic to the landlocked Oklahoma Magic. Because if you look at it, because Ilyasova came with him, and their draft pick Sabonis, and he's playing with essentially the same
I've always
team.
felt bad for Oladipo. Like, he's one of the better recent players out of college that has been so overlooked and kind of yanked around. So I mean, I at least want to set the table for why, in case everyone isn't paying attention to closely as to why this has to happen, as we're talking about. Because it's what happened with Kevin Durant. The reason he took off is because he was unrestricted free agent. And maybe last year is a position that the Thunder were in with Kevin Durant that they are now in with Russell Westbrook. But at least they had both their top superstars there. And they're like, let's give this one more run, which looked like a good idea because that run looked like it was pretty good, right?
Yes.
But, I mean, after that kind of devastating loss of the season and now loss of Kevin Durant, do you want to go through this again? I mean, people are burning T-shirts, not jerseys, I saw. Maybe they're burning jerseys in Oklahoma City.
Durant jerseys, yes.
I saw Durant T-shirts getting burned, which is, I mean, you don't want to burn your $100 jersey, do you? I know.
What if he comes back?
What if he comes back, right? Well, I really liked him when he was here. I'll burn the T-shirt instead.
Burn the bumper.
Come on, man. Come on, OKC. So anyway, they don't want to be left in a position where they get nothing for Russell Westbrook. At least maybe they get something back, help rebuild a team that now no one's going to pay any attention to.
I feel for Sam Presti. Sam Presti is one of the most terrific GMs in basketball. I mean, that Oladipo move was genius and almost could have been enough to keep Durant there. This is a team that got better before they, of course, lose Durant. They get worse. Now, even with just Russell Westbrook, they're making the playoffs. And Russell Westbrook's going to average 40, 30, and 20. He's going to make Oscar Robertson's season look like nothing when he averages a triple-double. Those aren't going to be his actual numbers, but he's going to close to a triple-double if the usage percentage for Westbrook is 100. That's where the numbers would be.
I mean, I'm sorry. So I just want to cut in for a second. I'm going to let you finish, Doug.
Go for it.
But the other part of that is also Serge Ibaka's gone. So they're already setting up this whole situation where that's one of the big elements that you said they will automatically make the playoffs. Maybe. The West is tough.
I think with Westbrook, they make the playoffs. I think Westbrook's good enough. He's an all-NBA first-team player, and I think that you still have Oladipo on that team, who's a new asset. So it's a strong backcourt, which we've seen through the NBA. You need a strong backcourt and some youth in there. And let's not forget, Steven Adams is 22, 23 years old and was growing, blossoming into one of the better centers in the league. And considering that the lack of good rim protectors that are left, that's the type of guy you want on your team. It's not just because he had the man bun that I compare him to Joakim Noah with his defensive prowess. It's because they play a similar defensive game. I think Steven Adams very quickly becomes like Noah in the way that you love Steven Adams if you have him on your team, but you are hated if there are 29 other players in the league. He's also got some of the best quotes in the NBA. But let's look into some trades because there are 2 outright favorites that would trade for Russell Westbrook in a second. That are the Lakers and the Celtics. Not just because they're big markets, it's because they have the most they could offer to Sam Presti that would make the Thunder potentially, a few years down the road, after the wave of Warriors and Cavs or Spurs or maybe even Clippers titles are done in 3-4 years, the growth of these players could be effective. So the first one revolves around the Celtics. This is from Fox Sports, just a potential offer. They said they send Russell Westbrook and Anthony Morrow so they can get him enough cap space to Boston for Avery Bradley, Jay Crowder, and Marcus Smart. I think you have to replace Marcus Smart with Jaylen Brown because I think they're going to want that top 3 pick. And the same is going to go for the Lakers. The Lakers side of things would offer the same thing. Oklahoma City sends Russell Westbrook and I think somebody else, Anthony Morrow, to the Lakers for D'Angelo Russell, Julius Randle, Larry Nance Jr., Lou Williams, a similar package. Again, I think Russell, Brandon Ingram, not Julius Randle, and Larry Nance Jr. are enough to do it. Because the main argument for both these guys, for Jaylen Brown and for Brandon Ingram being a part of the trade, why I think someone like Sam Presti would want to do this, purely speculative, is that you can get an All-NBA first-team player in Russell Westbrook right now. He's gotten better and better every year. There is no slowing that pit bull down. Right. That's how he plays. He's a vicious, angry, strong. Charges through the lane. Again, sometimes that's his downfall, but for the most part, you're getting one of the best, if not the top 2 or 3 point guards in the league on your team, even though he's score first point guard. If you're trading for someone like Brandon Ingram, the argument is, well, what if Brandon Ingram becomes an All-NBA first-team player? Well, why would you wait for that when you can get one right now?
Absolutely. And also, I mean, there's something to be said, and this is what I guess outside of teams that are in the middle of the country that people generally don't want to go to, Russell Westbrook is from L.A. He went to UCLA. That's a local kid. So it's another one of those things where
it's a big thing.
When you worry about the teams that are considering giving up certain players, a lot of youth even, that you're still looking to develop, what you want to consider is, as you said, you don't want to lose them after next year anyway, because that's just what you're going to get from the contract, right? So you at least want to prepare to have a reason to keep him. So I think it's tougher for Boston, because what else is in Boston necessarily that, unless you start forming something, you have to have a longer-term plan to want to pull this off, because you're losing guys and you're trying to make sure they stay. You don't want to just have them for 1 year and people go, oh, I remember that 1 year that Russell Westbrook was in Boston, and I don't really remember because he left after a year and they didn't do much that season. You don't want to be that team, you know. So at least in this stance, the Lakers have a better shot at it, and we're going to get to maybe Clippers.
I know I had to throw the Clippers in there because there's an interesting one.
Yeah, because it's LA as well. Again, it's a big deal. Yes. Look what happened with LeBron. I mean, I was one of the people who was like, why are you going back to Cleveland, dude? So, I mean, but it works out. People love going home. I'm just a different type of person.
That's true. Some people do like playing at home. Our EP Dan did mention that the Lakers could wait and trade nobody. I actually disagree because I don't think Sam Presti is going to wait and get nothing, as you're saying, in return. If you wait, he's going to the Celtics. Or if you wait, he could go to the Clippers. So let's take a look at that one because, you know, Doc Rivers says, I'm not trading Blake. Blake Griffin and a future first-round pick. I think Presti's going to make sure he gets some kind of draft pick out of it, too. I think he's going to get highway robbery for Russell Westbrook just because of how much it's going to be to get someone like Westbrook. One last trade. Russell Westbrook to the Timberwolves for Andrew Wiggins and Chris Dunn. But they're not going to trade away a franchise player in Andrew Wiggins. It could happen.
Don't do that. Like, you have a good look coming for the future.
We're just talking about the T-Wolves. We like the T-Wolves next year.